Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Read New Game Plus. I'm Duhad.
Let's read!
You are not fucking sound speed, Nero Brony.
I can dream, woman!
And here is G
Hey, I just killed you, Nero. Don't make me do it again.
And there's
I
Villain, I have done thy mother, he said, quoting
I just
Othello.
killed everyone.
I have done that.
Don't make me do it again.
Yes, I can
That's
fucking murdered everybody. Okay, so we're returning to
Including
hands.
yourself.
As per usual, I will be hands.
Hands?
You will be hands.
Yes, I've decided that I'm not going to bother calling Andrew J. Talon anymore. He is now
Andrew
just
J.
hands.
Cockwagon.
No, he is now just hands.
Andrew J. fucking Cockwagon.
And Ryda, you are playing the narrator. G Money, you are
Indeed.
playing the role of what the hell was it? You playing the women or no? You're playing the.
Oh my god, I love being a woman.
Yeah, you're playing the ladies. Nero's playing the men. Zombie Cam, you are playing Fluttershy and Twilight Sparkle.
Twat
Oh,
like
the ladies who aren't famous. You mean?
Wasn't someone else?
Well, the other main sixers.
Fluttershy?
Normally that would be.
Oh yeah,
Brandon, but he's not
I
here.
was originally Fluttershy.
Yeah, well now you've been upgraded to all of the guys.
Ooh, all the other guys that have a penis.
Yeah, you're all the people with a penis who is not
Wait,
hands.
Fluttershy
Or
doesn't have a
Fluttershy.
G Money, you are all the women.
Yes, she does.
And you were, and Zombie Cam, you are playing Fluttershy and Twilight Sparkle. Let's read.
Wait, hold on. Who's gonna voice the men that don't have a penis?
Let's read. Shut up.
I am.
Well, it's important that we be
girls.
transensitive.
We're we're not opening that can of worms.
Yes, let's not open
We are
this on
making
Duhad's
it
thing.
entirely off of
Let's
gender identity.
read.
If
Let's get started so that Duhad doesn't have to edit
Colgate
this
decides
out.
that she wants to be a man, then she is now going to be played by Nero as one of the men. That is how we deal with this. This is how we always deal with
Let's
it.
read.
Yeah, let's read so that Duhad doesn't have to edit this out.
I'm fucking
Let's
saying all of
read.
you. Read.
Let's read.
It's not my role.
I was staring
Somebody
at the ceiling in the dark now. I held
Let's
the
read.
covers to my body tightly. A hoof brushed over my chest, and I felt something wet on my shoulder.
Twilight.
Let's read.
How am I supposed to say this?
Omnibus.
She mumbled. I felt her chewing
Yo
on my shoulder.
necesito un autobús.
Alright, I'm gonna change.
I
Andrew's name
sighed.
again.
Well, as long as she was chewing on my shoulder, hugging me, nothing else, I could get to sleep.
Let's read.
Fuck.
I don't
To be
wanna-
entirely honest, it had been a long time since I'd had someone else in my bed.
As in, since you were born. Because
For
at
the
that
obvious-
point, he was technically
Not for the obvious
in
reasons.
bed with his mother, but
Not for the obvious reasons, just for someone to hold as you sleep, so you don't feel lonely. I could live with the situation when put in those terms. Kind of like having a stuffed animal.
Respect your hostess by referring to her as being basically a stuffed animal.
well, you see, she's a woman, so
She doesn't matter.
Don't fucking.
Yeah.
You are getting further and further away from the original meaning of that quote. And that quote was fucking foul to begin with.
yeah, it was originally meant to be.
Loosely
She was
quoted
already
from-
a fan of the show, so it doesn't really count. But
No, the original quote was supposed to was like, oh.
yeah,
she's
I
a
know
female,
the
so it was-
I know the original quote,
No, I
but
think
the
like,
original
meaning was supposed to be like, oh, she's a lady, therefore she was just being nice. Or like, oh, she's just a lady, so she's, something. I don't
No,
even know
remember-
what the fuck he was originally trying to get.
Kick-Ass 222 Your Mom expressed that he meant to say that she was a fan of the show, so it didn't count, but he accidentally ended up saying that she was a woman, so it didn't count.
Yeah.
But you idiots continually getting further and further away from that by just being like, oh, whatever, women's opinion, it's okay. You need to have that
Let's
joke be
read.
in context of the original quote, or
I was
else
gonna say.
it gets really offensive really fast.
Okay. Let
That's
me
Yeah,
the
but he
point.
was a Duhad, so his opinion doesn't count.
Keep reading. you
in context of living the dream's bad joke.
Yes.
Let's read.
E is your line, Zombie Cam.
Zombie Cam's disconnected.
Are you serious?
Okay, so Twilight has a penis now then.
Twilight now has a penis. Go.
E raised to A is transcendental if is algebraic non-zero.
She muttered.
What the fuck?
A stuffed
don't
animal
even
who
know.
talked about advanced mathematics and drooled on my shoulder in my sleep.
And whose opinions didn't
I-
matter.
I like how
I
Twilight's apparently
sighed.
having a dream that starts with omnibus and then goes into mathematics.
Hey.
Welcome back,
Hello?
zombie.
Zombie
Thank
can't
you.
hear
I
her
sighed
again.
and
All
wrapped
of
an
the-
arm around her.
Okay, now Twilight's
Midsection.
penis has fallen off.
All of the lights
So
on my
she
modem went
lay
red.
more comfortably and tried to relax.
Wait, hold on, what was that?
All of the lights on my modem went red. I don't know what
That's
happened.
Really not great, but yeah, you dropped out for a
That,
second.
that
ring
indicated
of
that
death.
Twilight grew a penis.
No, it's not that she grew a penis. She started self-identifying as a man very briefly, and then came to terms with herself as a woman.
I'm not going to say anything this time.
Before I knew it, I was falling through clouds of cotton candy, tumbling over and over again. The ground rose up, and I stopped, and I felt like I had been hit by vertigo. Nothing was at the right angle. Not the trees, not the houses. Even the bees were flying upside down.
Oh god, not the bees!
Bees.
What's that just silly?
I said, looking down at my hands.
Oh!
They were now hooves.
That's just sillier.
I looked up at the sky, and my eyes widened. It had turned red, and where the moon usually was on Equestria was Earth.
Bum, bum,
Fucking
bum.
retarded.
An Earth
Oh,
coming
shit, you're on
apart,
the moon.
pulled asunder by invisible hands.
Hey, that's the title!
It was then squished back together like it was made of Play-Doh, and began falling apart. It's a bit indecisive that way.
Began
Yeah.
falling.
Began falling. Falling from
began
the
falling.
moon. That's not good.
I decided, and I galloped for my life. Upside down, apparently.
Yep.
Outrunning a planet on foot, or rather hoof, is generally not possible.
Thanks for
And I
fucking
gotta-
telling us.
Oh.
And I got a good look at the continent of North America, where the pieces of it left squished together with Europe, Asia, and Taiwan, which is not in Asia, as it fell apart.
Taiwan is apparently a continent now.
I looked up and saw North America. It was squished into Asia, Europe, and also England.
Squished
You
into
could
Europe,
maybe
Asia,
get away with that with
England.
India,
Spain.
which is a
Oh my
subcontinent,
God.
but
Well, Australia is technically a country and a continent at the same time.
well, the continent's more technically Oceania.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hear that? It sounds
uh,
Lake
like your
Tahoe.
country's name is even stupider than you at first thought.
Lake Tahoe, the Hoover Dam, the city of Denver's Coors Field, the Forbidden City of China, and dozens of other mismatched monuments and buildings rained down upon me. I couldn't breathe. I gasped for breath and felt a weight on my stomach, and the sheets shifted around me. I tumbled and fell, and the weight yelped as we hit the floor. So first she's a stuffed animal, then she's a weight.
Now she's a weight.
Yes.
I
She's
gasped,
a.
pulling my head free of the
Well, I
sheets.
guess in this universe it's better than being a woman.
God damn it!
No, he does have a point. A weight would be written in character. Twilight Sparkle followed, coughing.
That is true!
That's not wrong.
We looked at each other, both suffering the effects of bedhead.
My God, this is the worst case of bedhead I've ever seen. He's got 3 months to live.
Get the lawnmower!
Bedhead.
There
can
was
be taken
sound.
the wrong way.
There was the sound of a cleared throat, and I closed my eyes.
Cleared throat.
Just what I needed. You know you're just what I needed. Oh, here we go. That's Spike, so that'd be
Spike.
Gentleman.
Neuro.
Good morning. I didn't see nothing.
Spike yelled as he ran downstairs.
Alright, Zombie Cat,
Bye.
it's Sporkle's turn.
Yeah. Spike! It's not what it looks like. Spike!
Twilight called. She looked at me and smiled nervously.
New paragraph, same character.
Oh.
For like the millionth time he's done this.
I guess I toss and turn a lot, huh?
I held my hand over my face and groaned.
Yeah, me too.
Well, look on the bright side.
Twilight said.
He's not going to spread it around.
Oh,
And
hey,
then
look, it's Rainbow Dawn. It's that'd be Yuji money.
it's Rainbow Douche.
Good morning, Twilight. I'm here for my book pick. Whoa. Never mind. Whoa.
Whoa!
Whoa, I ship it.
We got a bad.
Whoa! Whoa,
Fucking dude. Fucking.
dude.
Rainbow Dash gasped
I'm here for
as
my
she
book.
flew
pick.
in through the
Whoa,
window.
Radical, totally tubular.
Never mind.
She jetted right out. I stood up, the sheets becoming untangled. I was standing there in my white undershirt and red boxers as I waved my hands frantically.
That's not what you think. That's not what you think.
Of course, it was exactly.
It's Rainbow Douche.
Sorry. It's cool. It's cool. I'll give you 2 space.
She
Dude.
called back. I sighed and looked over at Twilight. The purple unicorn's face was buried in her hooves.
Ever notice how sometimes our lives seem like some kind of twisted joke?
Crawling.
Like reading this
Not a very good
in.
one.
Like reading this story.
Almost as if some moron was writing it.
I'm
She
being
grumbled.
funny. From the moment I met you.
I sighed.
It sounds like a bad sitcom.
Why did he end that on a comma?
I have no idea. Meanwhile.
Oh no, wait, for the moment I met you ends the U on the comma because I sighed's part of the same sentence.
Yeah,
Narrative.
technically that is
You're supposed
entirely
to do-
grammatically correct.
Yeah,
That is
it's kind of like the points where we've encountered paragraphs that are quotes that end without a closed quote and then open with an open quote because the same quote continues into a new paragraph is correct. Yeah. It's actually the ones where the quote ends in a period
Come on,
and the
it's your
sentence
turn.
continues that are wrong.
No, it's my turn, I think.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
Twilight.
my
Never
turn.
mind, yeah.
Yeah, that was Twilight.
My life is ruined.
Twilight moaned.
No, I think
Ooh,
it's
please.
my
Right,
life.
right.
It's ruined.
Anyway,
I mean, she's
completely
moaning.
ruined.
Covering her
Completely
face.
ruined.
Okay, wait. I just remembered. There's the flatly counter. That can it be ruined after you eat breakfast? It's getting cold.
Spike huffed. We were in the kitchen having breakfast. Well, I was having breakfast. Twilight
was moaning over her breakfast. What?
was
You see,
moaned
I told you.
over
I
her
told you.
It's when Harry met Sally.
I told you you needed to say it like that because she is literally coming on her breakfast.
Frankly, though,
I don't
give a damn.
Yes.
Frankly, though, the more I ate of Spike's wonderful hash browns and scrambled eggs, the less I had to think about what we had to do today. I just needed some peace and quiet.
What if Princess Celestia finds out? I'm going to change her voice, by the way.
No, we need you to wail. Wail.
What if Princess Celestia finds out?
No,
shit.
wail harder.
No, shut up.
You need to
Twilight
make a
whale.
noise like a whale.
Then it'd be like.
Exactly.
Twilight wailed.
But it's the wrong whale.
What if she thinks I'm easy?
I'm having Nintendo hard.
Level 1 Twilight.
At that, I spat out some eggs and giggled.
Seriously, what the hell does that make me?
Oh, right.
Sambo.
Well,
Twilight tapped her hooves together.
It makes you,
A stud, of course.
Spike is a douchebag.
Spike said matter-of-factly. He scowled at me.
Not that that's a good thing, you two-timer.
If I have sex with multiple people, what does that make me? Easy. What does that make you? Stud.
God, it's all the SJW's dream.
It's like literally just Spike is the worst type of person. Anyway, who's
John, what are you playing?
I haven't
Systemic
had
oppression.
sex since I got here. Unless you count getting screwed over by God. The universe and everything in general has sex.
Wait.
We do. You have had sex with God, had sex with the universe, and had sex with everything.
But what if you didn't have sex with
I
Twilight?
growled.
no, he had sex over God because he got screwed over.
Yes.
But I'm
God.
saying, like,
Come on.
Right.
You're telling
Guess
me
what?
Fluttershy is possessed? I bet you just made him mad.
Spike huffed. But I also like Spike's logic there. You made her angry. You must have had sex with her. He doesn't have a very high opinion of Andrew's skills.
Really. Alright, so
Hey,
Spike,
I know that I always
not
have breakup sex
helping.
with my girlfriends.
Twilight insisted.
And we didn't do anything. We're not doing anything.
yes. She's just freaking out because she's an uptight control freak.
I said
That's not sagely at all.
sagely.
What the fuck that? That's not wise advice.
Twilight nodded.
Yes, exact. Hey!
Oh,
Oh,
Right.
Spike
so with
said
the-
with a nod.
that makes sense.
Twilight scowled at me across the table.
Uptight control freak.
Oh, it can be taken as a compliment on my
that is
home
not
world.
a compliment at all.
I don't think anybody in existence is that stupid.
This is
I
supposed to
offered-
be humor. This is the level of comedy we're going to get from this book. It's terrible.
Twilight huffed and crossed her forehooves together as she glared at me. Well, at least the jokes are better than Seltzer and Freeberg.
That's because they don't make jokes. They have vague
And I
references.
guess
That's
Oh.
like saying the jokes are
indecisive,
better
cowardly
than.
jerk is one too.
That's like
And
saying the jokes are
decisive.
better than Saving
I
Private Ryan.
gasped.
Spike's funny.
Why is that the one that makes him angry?
Spike muttered in the background as he enjoyed his own breakfast of crunchy gems in milk. Which would be odd because, the milk won't really do anything with the gems, so none of the flavor gets in there because you can't dissolve gems with milk.
Apparently,
I
they
leaned over the table and glared death at the purple unicorn.
I will fucking
Ludo.
kill you, just like I did my ex-wife. What do
It's
you
casting
mean
Ludo.
by that?
Just what I mean.
So she means what she means.
I'm gonna get you too.
Yeah. Twilight accused, pointing a hoof at my face.
You are so scared of opening up about yourself because you have issues with intimacy.
I have issues with
Wait.
intimacy outside my own species.
Hold on. Note that that is her reason for indecisive.
Yes. Yes.
He's indecisive
Oh.
because he's scared of opening up about himself.
Therefore,
Oh,
he has
so
issues
you're
with
a
it, and
bigot
therefore,
then?
and therefore, there's issues with intimacy, which doesn't make sense.
Twilight asked waspishly.
What the fuck is that word?
It basically just means that she's
If-
being
Like a
bitch.
wasp.
Either like she has a stinger or like a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
It's an actual term. It's just
Yeah.
kind of fucking douchey to describe Twilight as that. Because he's basically just trying to set her up as a straw man to, make Andrew
Oh.
look better by comparison.
Oh, she will get worse.
I'm not a bigot. I'm just not that. It's just that this is all new for me, alright?
I said angrily.
You can't go for my species is the only sapient one around to... Oh, dear God, even the cows have political opinions on this world. What a fucking mess.
Oh
No,
my
he
goodness,
is not-
I'll give him a little bit of credit here. That was mildly amusing.
Now, he's not big on bovine suffrage. Twilight stared at me in shock. Hell, even Spike dropped his spoon.
Were you about to say
cow
even the
racist.
cows dropped their spoon?
Well, I was gonna say even Cow dropped his spoon. I tapped my
Apparently
fingers on the
chicken and
table.
cow is a part of this now.
I tapped my fingers on the table, very tempted to just look away.
What?
But I had to stand my ground. Hey,
Turn away and slam the door.
I have a hard enough time on my own world
What?
as a white male.
What?
What?
Well,
I never have a problem
Read
as a
the-
white man.
no,
I would never have a
wait,
problem as a
what?
white man.
well,
white-
No,
white-
wait.
white
I wasn't
people
about-
suffer-
No, what? Hey, I have a hard enough time on my own world as a white male.
I wasn't about to be called racist on Two Worlds 2.
Oh my fucking
So,
God.
I think he gets called racist, and from the sound of it, it sounds like he gets called racist. He is blaming that on the fact that he's just a white male.
Oh my fucking God. He's literally, the line exists in the story.
word-
The line exists in the story. Hey, I have a hard enough time on my own world as a white male. Period.
Kids.
Goes on later to
That's-
imply that people
Oh,
accuse him of being
yeah.
racist. But just on its own, there is a fucking line in the story where the heroic protagonist says, "Hey, I have a hard enough time on my own world being a white male." Gee,
Kids?
it's so fucking hard being a white guy, a
It's-
straight white male. That is the
It's
fucking
it is
worst.
so it is
No.
so hard to have
And
all
look
the
at it when you
privilege
look
of
at-
the world, man.
Hey,
It is so
kid.
hard.
When you look a little further,
Do you
say,
know
"I'm not a
what
bit-"
time it is?
It's Pee Wee Herman time.
When you look a
Talent
little further-
hunting!
When you look a little further, you see, he said, not about to called race on Two Worlds 2, which so it sounds like he's saying that the only reason he's being called racist is because he's white male. But if you look at his behavior, not only if you look at his behavior suggests perhaps otherwise, but even the way it's worded seems to suggest that he's just blaming
Yeah.
that the people calling that on being white male.
Yeah,
using it as a way to
actually
absolve
imagining him
himself.
like going and like saying something kind of racist and someone giving him shit for it, and then him just like turning them going like, "Well, if you weren't black, you probably wouldn't have a problem with me saying that." So like, this guy is such a fucking douche.
Or no,
Holy
they only
shit.
think I'm racist because I'm white.
Yeah. Well, no, exactly. The guy is such a fucking douche. I have enough trouble on my own world being a white male. What the fuck? What
See,
the
I could say
actual
things.
fuck?
I could say stupid things like that because I'm Hispanic, so therefore I have the epitome of being
Such
a minority.
like, it's
He's
so-
fucking a majority in the world. I don't get it.
He's like the most privileged fucking majority in the universe. Like, I'm not even saying that in like the whole like SJW thing. Like, legitimately, there is no better state of being in America than straight white male, and he's fucking bitching about it because like some people call him a racist because he's a fucking prick. Really?
Except
He's a
perhaps
prick, that's why they're calling him
rich
a
straight
racist.
white male.
Well, he's definitely rich. I think later on it's established that like his dad is like fucking like a NASA engineer or something.
Clearly, this is a work of fiction, obviously.
God damn it, this guy. This fucking guy.
Thanks.
Oh.
Wow. You're alone. What the fuck? This story, Jesus.
I was literally like, I looked ahead a little bit and saw like the next line. I was going to make a joke about him like being a fucking racist and being like, oh, wait, you don't have other sapient species on your planet? Like, well, I mean, unless you count all those all those foreigners or whatever. But I'm like, not really. But like, fucking hell, he's ruined the joke by just being the worst human being. He's,
Yeah, he is probably the worst human being.
I hate Hans so much. Not the story, but the main character. Hans is such an asshole. He no longer deserves to have his own name. I don't even consider him
Also-
NJ Cockwagon. He is just Hans forever.
Also,
I also hate the author.
also, Spike dropped his. Also, Spike dropped his own spoon.
Moving along,
from his
anyway.
stupidity and his racism, or just because
Yeah, apparently
he was so stupid, or because the story's so
Well,
stupid?
it wouldn't be from the stupidity because that line was internal narration, so Spike didn't even hear that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alright,
God.
so
And wouldn't know necessarily that white males majority on Earth is not
Twilight's
from that.
line. Twilight's line.
I guess neither does Twilight.
Yours is the only one?
She asked, in a mix of disbelief and wonder. I nodded.
Yeah, we haven't met any other sapient species. At least not according to general knowledge. I mean, there were other competing humanoids on the
Hominids.
hominids on the planet thousands of years ago, but most of them were absorbed into ours and we just died out.
A lot more than thousands.
Yeah,
Billions, but
no, say like humanoid, so like
Yeah,
Neanderthal and-
humanoid, yes. Hominid, I think, refers to Great Plains apes,
Oh well, never
which
mind.
there are other members of.
Okay, well in that case, yeah, there's a shitload.
yeah, he's a dumbass. He doesn't know geography.
I'd have to double check that one, though. I'm not certain. But I know
Anyway,
typically
explained.
canid and felid refer to that level, so I think hominid refers to that level.
I explained.
Yeah.
I said.
I explained. Oh, I lost track. Hold on. I explained. I sighed.
So unless aliens make contact while I'm gone,
Wow.
You're alone.
Twilight said, frowning deeply.
on the one-man island. Yeah, kinda.
I said. We sat in silence for a while. Spike frowned.
Well, it's actually kind of a relief.
We didn't want to have to deal with more of you.
Yeah, you're too moronic. We were hoping you die out.
No, I think it's just going on to the same, like, don't worry, having other races around you sucks. Fucking
Yeah,
hate
tell
'em.
me about it. I'm always getting kicked on.
No, it's
See,
going
like
to
they
the
frown
trope where
upon my
all humans are
relationship
bad.
with this one girl because
Okay.
I'm a dragon and she's a pony.
Yeah, the dragon said. I blinked and looked over at him.
Well, Dad, you just don't have any. I mean, I thought you guys might have killed anything that wasn't you.
My first thought was genocide. Spike said.
said, I gaped. What the fuck?
I gaped.
Did they have a
Dragon.
gape counter as well? Because he said that a lot this chapter.
Yeah. Oh. Also, why is he gasping? That is actually how a lot of the other,
Oh, no.
you know,
he's
like,
gaping.
Other
No, he's
human
gaping.
species- Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's like jaw dropped.
Yeah. So Spike said, I gaped. But like the thing is, why is he gaping? That is actually how a lot of the other proto-humans died. We murdered the shit out of them, or at least
That
like
is
took-
exactly. That's survival
brought
of the
them
fittest.
to extinction. So yeah, we did murder them all. What?
Well, you talked a lot about all your wars and super destructive weapons and violent nature and how you nailed your own god to a tree for a Klondike bar.
This guy.
Jesus.
Oh god.
Because when I'm on a foreign world, the first thing I'm going to tell them about is our wars and our weapons and us being violent.
Yeah.
And Jesus.
Also, like seriously, like that is just such a fucking dismissive thing. Like that is literally like the only one I've read that's like more dismissive than that was the bit in Hitchhiker's Guide at the beginning, where it's just like nearly 2,000 years after one man had been nailed to a tree for saying how nice it would be to be how great it would be to be nice to people for a change.
Yeah. I remember that.
Although
That was
I
a
have seen that as a badass boast for humanity. Guys going on about all the things like humanity's done, poisoning
We
their only
killed God.
atmosphere, breathe it. The fact that they breathe one of the most corrosive gases in the universe,
That's
and
true.
ends with, "We nailed our god to a stick. Don't
Depend-
mess with Earth."
Depending on which god you're talking about, we killed a lot of them. We've killed a lot of gods. Contact.
And then
I
also
shouted.
in the most violent ways possible.
Spike huffed and puffed and blew my house down. Hopped off his
Fine.
chair and took his bowl to the sink.
Fine. Jeez, yell at me some more, why don't you?
The dragon snorted.
Cocaine.
He headed for the door and glared at us both.
I'll say you're both being totally stupid, and I haven't even... What?
What?
Where? What?
What?
Where? Who? When? Why? What the fuck?
I think he's upset over the fact that people older than him are having sex when he's never had a date.
Also, you two are both being totally stupid, and I haven't been on a date.
Twilight
What does that
questions
have to
that
do with
line
anything
afterwards.
ever?
I think this is just him
That's
underscoring
not-
that he really wants to bang Rarity.
That's still not an excuse to write it.
That's so fucking stupid.
Like, even if
No,
he
it's not an
puts, what did he
excuse
mean
to
by
write
that?
it, but I think
Afterwards.
it's the reason he wrote it.
As a
Yeah, but that's
romantic
like so
rarity,
fucking
right?
obscure that like there's
As
no
a-
way a normal human being would have like jumped to that conclusion.
I'm a
Check the
rarity-
byline.
I've written a lot of rarity romance, and I don't think that makes sense.
So you're both being totally stupid, and I haven't even been on a date.
With
He
who?
snorted.
His hand?
As he walked out.
What did he mean by that?
What did he mean by that? That's a good question, Twilight.
Twilight asked, blushing. I looked up at the ceiling and sighed.
I have no clue.
I lied. Lying to children.
I like the fact that that he's just like, I'm going to lie. I have no idea. Like, I know what's going on, but I'm not going to tell the audience, you fuckers. You don't get to know what I'm thinking. You don't get to know what that sentence was about.
When we
It's
first
okay.
went to
The
Rainbow
whole
Dash's
story's
home,
collected.
in hopes
Hole?
of setting the record straight. Graciously, the blue Pegasus let us in, and thanks to the aid of a magic spell, I was able to walk on the clouds alongside Twilight. It astonishes me how easily I was able to write that. You've written worse things just as easily.
Excuse me.
Walking.
Dude,
the
you've written
clouds.
that increasing the density of the air around her wings would make her go faster.
Gotta go fast.
Wait, was that this one?
Yes.
Yes, that
Okay.
was this story.
I'm losing track of the stupid sometimes. We've read so many things.
Oh my fucking god, I can't stand this fucking story. Let's go. We have half an hour left until I just stop the recording.
Yeah,
It was hard not to keep staring in wonder at my feet as we entered the home of Rainbow Dash.
So, you guys wanted to talk?
Rainbow asked, giving us both a dark look.
Maybe you should talk to Fluttershy first. Hmm?
Oh, she's angry.
I wouldn't be able to tell.
Zombambo, Cambo.
Yeah.
Wait, I was
What?
Twilight
Wait,
asked
Twilight.
flatly.
What?
16.
Ah,
Why Fluttershy?
because she's possessed, remember?
I reminded her sarcastically.
We haven't agreed that's the case yet.
Twilight said sharply.
Fluttershy is possessed?
Dash asked, blinking rapidly. She pointed at me.
I thought you were cheating on her with Twilight.
You're cheating on me?
Twilight gasped, having forgotten that she is not dating Andrew or actually sleeping with him.
God.
This is more tedious than the fucking harem anime.
Oh my god, this next line.
I don't know. Still not as bad as Naru from Love Hina.
I have no context for that line, nor do I want
From
it.
I can
Love
see why you
Hyena?
would.
Okay,
I can
imagine
see
if-
why
I
you
have
would
no
answer-
context for that line, nor do I want any.
Imagine
Let's
Twilight were more annoying.
Nor
And
do I want
violent.
any.
Let's keep going, please. Or else
Let's
Duhad is gonna
read.
die of an aneurysm.
Let's read.
Yes,
Rainbow Dash.
I'm not.
Oh,
Oh.
is it? Duhad.
I'm not cheating on anyone.
I'm not cheating on anyone. I'm
Alright.
not single.
Alright.
We're not dating.
I shouted in exasperation.
That's Rainbow.
Is that okay? No, he's living with Fluttershy, so he's not cheating on you. You're cheating on her with her.
You're cheating on...
I'm not even
Okay.
going there.
Change the.
I was trying to have to map out the sentence in my head. Rainbow Dash insisted, pointing to Twilight Sparkle.
No, I'm not.
I shouted, exasperated.
We're not in a relationship like that.
So you're just friends?
Dash asked. I glanced over at Twilight, staring in disbelief. I looked back at Dash.
No.
Sorry, can I just interrupt? I'm going to jump to a very strange conclusion here, but I think it says something about the author that he's having women tripping over trying to fight each other for his OC, essentially.
Yeah, for his self-insert. It is rather alarming.
Yeah, I know
I'm
that
not
sounds
sure
crazy,
if it really counts
but I
as
think
an
that's what he's going
OC.
for here.
Because
It's especially
OC
alarming.
original creation. This isn't created. This is just he wrote himself.
This
Yeah,
is
straight up
like
self-insert.
even
Yeah.
if it was an OC, I would still just be mind blown that they're falling over him because he's just such a cunt.
Well, the thing is,
He's-
it's not even
he's-
just that. It's the fact that he is literally
Racist.
self-inserting himself into a story and then having every female character in said story want a bit of his dick. Like,
Well, isn't that the
is-
point of self-insert stories?
no, it shouldn't fucking be. Like, that's not self-insert. That's self-pleasure. It is literally jerking off with.
masturbation.
Yeah,
So,
it's jerking
we
off
are-
with your writing.
So basically, this fanfic is masturbation.
Yes, he is jerking off to what he writes.
He is masturbating
I'll
his
be
own
guaranteed.
ego and his own penis.
So he's Nero.
He is writing this one-handed while his other hand works the shaft.
Yes, Andrew J. Cockwagon is my other personality.
Maybe he's dictating.
Get it?
Mason.
Dictating?
Haha.
Dictating.
Penis.
Jokes.
Alright.
That just reminds me, I
Alright.
need to write that self-insert Persona 4 fanfiction.
I glanced over at Twilight, staring in disbelief. I looked at Dash.
The hell are we?
Yes.
I'm trying to find out where the hell we are at this point.
You're supposed to say yes.
Alright,
Yes.
yes.
I cried. Screw it. That was the situation. Officially. Emotionally, I could work that out later. Assuming I didn't just jump off the cloud house when the look Twilight was giving me. Yeah, this is the point where Twilight begins going in a strange direction, character.
Yes, the person who's repeatedly said, I don't want to have sex with you, is now saying that he doesn't want to have sex with you. Therefore, I am going to get fucking pissed off.
Clever story plot.
Yeah. The other thing about her not being as bad as Naru, that's right now. Later, she pretty much becomes that character.
I don't care. I don't want to hear about Naru. I
And
don't
then
wanna
it
care
goes
about
worse.
Anime. Shut up.
Hey, did you see
Yeah.
that one anime?
Shut up. Shut up, all of you weeaboos. I don't care.
Alright, come
I
on,
don't
guys.
want
I
anime.
prefer the term
No.
otaku.
Oh my god, Duhad's gonna have an
gonna
aneurysm because we
kill
can't
you.
get through
Yes,
this.
gonna
you are a
fuck my
taco.
Anime was a mistake.
Why are you guys retarded? Just keep
Is
going.
that a Mexican otaku, an atako?
That's it. Fuck it. Hands is over. We're done. No.
I'm gonna hang myself with my own mic cord.
I'm sorry,
all of
I
you.
had to.
No, we're done. This was the worst reading ever. Save our spot, someone. This has all just gone so horribly wrong.
I'm saving our spot.
Oh, Christ.
I mean,
Okay.
Jesus.
Well, thank you all for joining us for this abridged episode of Let's Read New Game
God,
Plus.
God, you guys gave Duhad an aneurysm. You guys are fucking stupid. Like, I'm going to hang myself with my mic, too.
Fucking
That's how
hang.
bad you
But
guys are.
just remember the
Wow.
takeaways from this.
Oh,
Andrew's had such a hard time as a white male, and Nero is a taco.
yes, that is correct.
A taco.
Okay, well, anyway, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you guys next time for Let's Role Play Angel, the role-playing game, and also Let's Read something that isn't fucking hand.